Hey guys, I'm Movie Man. If you're new to my channel, on this channel I review movies, TV shows, and games, and I'm joined today with my friend
Gary Winthorp.
And tonight we're going to see the new movie Aquaman. When we get back, we will dive deep into the movie. And we're back, and boy do we got quite a bit to talk about. Okay, so before we get into the video, we're going to just give you our general thoughts on the movie. So Gary, what did you think of the movie? Generally, do you think it was good, bad?
I thought it was pretty good. Going into it, I didn't think it was really gonna be that good, but the fighting kind of made it a whole lot better, for me at least.
Cool. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I know a lot of people were wondering whether this could be the movie that brings the DC Universe back. I think it was definitely a step in the right direction. Yeah, I think it was pretty good. Quick warning before we continue, there will be spoilers in this video, so if you don't want anything to be spoiled for you, you can skip to the end of the video and just catch our ratings of what we thought about the movie. Okay, so first up, we're gonna talk about the story. So, what do you think of the story?
The beginning of the story I felt was kind of weird because in the trailer they kind of revealed a lot, almost all of it, kind of. But when he had to go back to Atlantis to like kill his brother to receive the throne again and save Atlantis, I was getting some like Black Panther vibe from Marvel.
True.
It's kind of the same story, and I feel like that story's been reused a lot throughout superhero movies, but
That's true with Thor as well. They did do that before.
but the beginning and ending of Aquaman's dad and mom kind of made me feel a little cringy and kind of weird. I thought they could do better with that.
Yeah, the slow motion was a little much. They could
at the
have.
end.
I feel like if they didn't have the slow motion, they could have made it less cringy.
Yeah, at the
Maybe.
end it was supposed to be this, good
Yeah.
scene, and then she was just kind of standing there. It was just kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense for what
Yeah.
they were saying, but like, I understand where you're coming from there. So what did you think about the two main villains, Ocean Master and Black Manta?
Black Manta was probably the highlight of the movie, I think.
Really?
The Ocean Master was just kind of
That's interesting.
Black Manta was the cool supervillain
That is interesting because I know in the trailer people were really loving the way that Black Manta looked, and I love the look too. But then in the movie, when he's fighting Aquaman, it feels weird. I don't know what it was about his suit, and I'm not hating on the suit because I think the costume department of this movie they definitely did a great job, but something about it was weird. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that because it just seems strange. But yeah, let me know when you guys go see the movie if you thought the costume was good. What do you think of Ocean Master's costume? He didn't really have.
it wasn't that.
I mean, he had the mask.
Yeah, the mask was like the main part of it, and I didn't really like the mask because when he would make expressions, his eyebrows would move and it would kind of mold, and it was supposed to be like a metal mask.
I mean,
It was just I didn't like it. I decided it was kind of weird.
And how about Aquaman being in his cartoon / comic book suit?
That was good.
I thought he
That
looked
was
good in that. I thought, I mean, a lot of the times, superhero shows or movies, they don't use the comic book accurate suit, and I think that's because, it might not look good live action, which I totally understand. But, I mean, when I was thinking about the comic book suit that he wears, I did not think it would look good live action, but wow, I thought it looked really good. Seeing him in that, and then I think the conclusion with him and his brother or half brother, I thought that was pretty cool. The ocean scene.
And back to the costumes, I thought Aquaman's mom's costume is a little and then the redhead girl. I don't.
Queen Mara, or
Mara.
soon to be queen.
It was a little kind of revealing. It was just.
Yeah.
And then it was just kind of weird. I didn't really like that that vibe thing. He was always showing her like.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
It was a little much, but.
I thought her powers were cool though.
Yeah, her powers was cool, but one of it was kind of cringy when she like took all the wine bottles behind her and she started like screaming and like.
That was crazy. She turned them into like spikes that went through people.
That was the cool part, but the screaming
crazy.
was just kind of, and how she like turned around slow motion.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in slow motion. She like did it on purpose. It was weird.
Yeah, that was a little strange. But so the story itself, I feel like, okay, so I think there were a couple scenes that maybe were stretched out too long. So there's a scene where they're looking for this trident of like the original king of Atlantis. And they go to the desert, and they just seem to be bouncing from location to location because they go to the desert, find out some information, then they go to Italy, where they find out more information.
Yeah.
And then they go to like the core, the Earth's core or something, where they find Aquaman's mom and the trident.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like the trench.
The trench. Yes, that's what it was called. I know that was like the story, but I feel like some things of it were just stretched too long. And because I found myself a little, not that much, just a little bored occasionally, and it lost me a little bit in the middle somewhere. But I thought the ending fight scene with Ocean Master against Aquaman and all the sea, that was a great scene. I love that. The CGI I thought looked great. I heard some people like that said that some of the CGI wasn't that great, but I don't know. I totally disagree. I thought the CGI was pretty on point. What do you think about the CGI?
It was pretty good. What you said before we watched the movie that people had a issue with the crab talking.
Yeah.
It was fine.
I thought it was fine too.
Yeah, it was like.
Yeah,
I didn't see a problem with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was fine too because I think it would have been. They were talking about the crab. We're talking about the same crab, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one that was talking to Ocean Master that was like, "I'll never surrender." The eyes looked kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he didn't have a mouth. It was kind of these like things on the side.
Yeah.
It was.
I think
didn't bother me.
Yeah, me neither. I think some of the things that were kind of strange were some of the creatures. Some of the creatures looked a little odd. Like the creature that was guarding the trident or whatever. What even was that?
Was that the same creature who came out and was like huge?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, okay.
But what
they
was
didn't really show it when they were fighting.
Well, I think that was it. I mean, that only makes sense.
It was like
It was the only creature that came out with him.
It was like I'm pretty sure it's a mythical god in the ocean because I've seen that in like some mythical god movie before.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like War of Gods. I'm pretty sure I don't know what the movie was called. It was in the Odyssey book.
Oh. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that. I guess if they explain it that way, but then there were other creatures that were like a little weird looking because they were like almost like
the seahorses.
Yeah, what was it?
Weird.
What was it that? Yeah.
And that's not even like a character in the ocean.
No.
A character. I mean, an animal, creature in the ocean. It's just this huge made-up seahorse.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I guess it was just effect, make it look cooler.
Yeah.
I guess
I can see
like
sharks and stuff.
If you don't really think about it that much, it's not that bad. Honestly, it was kind of cool, so I don't think that bothered me that much. I love some of the choreography was cool. The fight choreography.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty good.
The scene with Black Manta chasing Aquaman and then his like other
Queen Mara. Or Mara.
The other guys chasing Queen Mara. The transitioning from back and forth to them I thought was really cool.
That was,
and when one of the guys like went beast mode and was like running through the houses. That was my favorite part of the movie.
That was hyped up a lot in the trailers too, but it was.
I never saw it in the trailer.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
But him running through the houses was cool.
I think they had a really nice start off. So at the beginning of the movie, I know some of that stuff was a little strange with Aquaman's parents, but when those guards from Atlantis show up,
yeah, they look like Power Rangers.
True. I kind of found their looks a little odd.
Yeah.
But that fight between them and Aquaman's mom, I thought that was a great way to start off the movie. I thought that definitely was like, wow.
It shocked me because they've never done fighting like that in DC. Because it's really fast paced.
Besides maybe Batman, but
I thought it was different than Batman because it was fast paced and they would move the camera up and over in different angles, and it was just kind of rotating around, and it was going really fast. I've never really seen that.
I like the way they filmed it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Wait, do you mean like Marvel too? Like overall, like what do you?
Yeah, it's different than any superhero.
It did seem different, but it was a good different. Mm-hmm. I liked it. It was very cool. And then I think so when Aquaman challenges his brother to the fight, the circle of fire or whatever. The fight scene, I was expecting a lot from it, and it was some parts of it I was like cool, and then some parts I was like, nah, because we got that same fight at the end, but I think the end was a lot better. But I think, of course, that was the intention.
Yeah.
But it wasn't terrible. I thought some of it was a little, I don't know. I didn't get, the trident. They counted heavily on the tridents and stuff. I think.
When it broke, he just gave up. They all just gave up when it broke.
It seemed that way, yeah.
When Ocean Master destroyed Aquaman's trident, he just sat there and he's like, "Oh, I'm done. I can't do anything."
Well, I think that symbolized something there because it was his mom's trident.
Yeah.
And that breaking that affected him. I think because that was the only thing he had left of her, because he didn't know she was alive. Yeah. So I think there were a couple moments where I thought, the tidal wave when Aquaman and his dad are in the truck driving. That was a crazy scene.
But it was a really cool scene. But I still am confused on how that happened, and like they were just driving and all of a sudden it just pops up, and then it's
they could
no.
Ocean Master, he wanted to kill.
I know. So did the Ocean Master do that? Mm-hmm. It would have been cool to see Ocean Master actually going like.
Yeah, I find it odd that the dad actually survived though, because yes, they were playing it off as he was gonna die, but then she used her powers to get the water out of his lungs and stuff. But wouldn't the impact of the water have killed him? Because he was in the truck though. But it smashed through the windows and everything. And it knocked him out. I would think he would have died. And all the motion and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, somehow he survived. I'm okay, I guess, that he survived because typically, I guess they do go the darker path and have a parent die. I thought for sure he was gonna die.
Yeah, and then
I thought the mom was dead too. I didn't expect her to come back.
That was I felt really weird that she came back. I think it would have been okay if she just stayed dead.
Yeah. I mean,
sounds kind of mean, but
I feel like if the dad had died, that would have made Aquaman more angry. I mean, yes, he was already angry because of the attempt on his dad's life and himself.
It would have been cooler.
But if he had actually killed the dad, he would have been so mad. He would have had so much rage built up against his half brother Orm that there would have been no like when he meets him, yes, he's like angry and wants to beat him, but he's not
taking it seriously.
He even jokes a little bit. He's like when they're like having their conversations, he's doing it by the book. Where if his dad had died, he would have been like, "Shut up, let's fight."
Yeah,
like
he would have been straight to it.
I feel like that would have given more of a drive. And then I do think the mom coming back is interesting because it does drive that thing with Ocean Master. But I was almost sure that, and I guess it makes sense the way they went. But I thought for sure that it was partially Ocean Master's fault or his mom's death. That maybe he blamed his mom a little bit for whatever was going on with Arthur and stuff, like that she didn't like him, so she wanted another son or something like that. But I guess at the age that he would have been at when that happened, he wouldn't have been old enough to really know. So I guess it makes sense.
And what I was confused about is when his mom takes off the helmet.
The whole uniform she was wearing was just a little strange. How did she even get that?
Yeah, it was just made out of fish bones and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
And like how she survived through all that.
Yeah, that seems a little strange.
But how he like knew straight away it was his mom was kind of.
Well, no, I don't think he did because she took off the mask.
Yeah, and he was just kind of like staring at her, and he's like, he was kind of implying.
That's true. How does he know what she looks like?
Yeah, he doesn't.
He just kind of assumed.
He just like, oh my god. It would have been like interesting if he would have been like, oh, who are you? And like, what are you doing? And like,
well, but Mara would recognize her.
Well, yeah, and then she would say something, and then he would like.
But like, what I mean is, Mara saw her before Aquaman did, so she would have instantly recognized her and said something, and then so that Aquaman would have maybe like been like, oh, it's my mom. Wow.
Yeah, that would have been cooler, but then nothing happened. She just kind of stared at her.
Oh, I guess that's true.
They both stared at her when she took the helmet off.
That's true.
And they both didn't say anything.
That is very true.
And it was just kind of weird.
Yeah.
And same with the other brother. Oh wait, he already knew what she looked like though.
Yeah, I think because I think he's older than Aquaman, even though
he's younger.
He is younger.
Mm-hmm. Remember, they were in the fight scene and he goes, "You're my younger brother."
Oh, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Then no, I don't.
Yeah, Aquaman.
He wouldn't know what she looks like then because I don't know. I guess they.
Well, might have because she went back to Atlantis.
But if he's younger, he wouldn't have been alive. Or no, he would have, but he would have been like a baby.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have been able to remember. I don't know. Maybe there's pictures or something of her. You know, they could have had something there.
Who knows?
In Atlantis for her. What did you think about Atlantis? What did you think of the look?
Like the whole like entrance gate. What I was confused about is there's like so many things, all those like cars and like I don't know. They were just sitting. And there wasn't like traffic and.
I mean, where else do they live? I thought everybody in the ocean lived in Atlantis. I didn't know they lived anywhere else. Because they were kind of implying that. I don't know. So, what would you rate the story out of 10?
Story.
So, like, Aquaman looking for this trident, taking the throne of Atlantis, yeah, and stopping his half-brother, from starting a war against the surface.
If I just heard the story without actually like watching the movie, it'd be like around maybe 6.
Okay. And then what about like now that you've seen it?
After I've seen it with all the visuals and fighting stuff, it's more like a 8.5 and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. After watching it, I thought because yes, they did have some scenes that I thought were a little long and boring-ish. I think probably. I don't know if it was a good story, but I'd probably give it an 8. I don't know if I'd give it an 8.5, but I don't know. I think maybe an 8. I was considering either a 7.5 or an 8. I thought it was good. It's just I don't know. Something about it just didn't make it above an 8 to me. I mean, yeah, it was enjoyable. So, I guess an 8. I'd probably give it an 8. I think that's what I'd give it. And then they did try to add the comedy aspects. I think some of it was...
Oh, and I was going to say something. The director,
James Wan?
James Wan. We looked him up before we went to the movie, and he directed a bunch of Saw and The Conjuring and like The Nun, a bunch of scary movies.
Horror movies, yeah.
Horror movies. And he did one with the Fast and Furious. So it was just kind of weird. But I could see that he directed it because throughout the movie, there would be like jump scared. It's not like scare scenes, but like
jumps in general.
Jumps in general. There were so many, just like during their journey to find the trident, they would just be
Yeah.
kind of walking along, and then we found a clue, and then all of a sudden there would be an explosion, and then people were fighting, and it just kept going. It was just like a loop and loop and loop, and like.
That's true.
And with the trench characters,
Yes, I was about to
they
mention
tried to
that.
make it pretty scary with
The
thunder
horror.
and
the
scary
creatures in
vibe.
general that
Yeah.
were there. The whole them being on that ship and like running from, place to place
Yeah.
while they were attacking them. Yeah, I could
If-
definitely see that.
it wasn't scary, but it was kind of
Right.
like
They were kind of trying to
get-
put some kind of fear. Like it would
Yeah,
be
fear.
scary to
It was
little
kinda-
kids.
oh yeah, it was.
Heck yeah, definitely.
But
yeah.
they were trying to do. I could see that.
I definitely agree with that.
That's another thing I wanted to say.
But no, when he goes to get the trident, that was probably really cool. Like when they get through the whole trench area and they get
Yeah.
to like that mystical core area. I think it was the Earth's core. I think
Something. Yeah.
something like that. And Aquaman goes in and to get the trident. That was I don't know. I thought that was really cool when he grabs the trident and like commands that creature that was saying I'll destroy, I've seen people more worthy than you. That was a cool moment, I thought.
That Earth's core reminds me of How to Train Your Dragon. Have you seen that? Like the second one.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, and the second one, he goes into the core,
Mm-hmm.
and he's after like getting past all these like demon stuff, and then he goes in the corner and it's like beautiful like dragons and stuff, and he finds his mother that he thought it was dead. It's the same aspect.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I think I'll have to figure it out, but I think he gets like some power.
It reminded me
down in there.
Yeah, it reminded me of the movie Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah.
In that, because when they're in there, it looked like the whole, like just all of it looked kind of similar to what that looked like.
I don't remember.
I kind of remember. It has been a long time since I saw that movie,
That was
but
an old movie.
yeah, but if I remember, it looked a little, I don't know, just the tropical kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It looked kind of like it. Okay, so moving on to the humor. What did you think? I could definitely see them trying, and I think some of them were some of the humor was good, but then I thought some of it was a little.
Yeah, it was a little half.
Marvel does humor pretty well, and I think that's kind of what they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Like when Aquaman would say something kind of funny, there would be like one person in the audience going, like laughing out loud, and nobody else saying anything. But
Very true.
it was kind of just like small humor stuff. Like he kept, like when he walked in. Am I allowed to say?
Yeah, we already said spoilers.
Or no, I mean like when he walked in, he was like, "This is bad." This was,
Oh yeah, that was. I don't know if that was really necessary. That
Yeah.
seemed a little strange for him to say. I don't know. Some of the comedy, it seemed just shoved in.
mhm.
It didn't seem like it wasn't natural.
And
Like,
like-
and the we could have just peed on it.
Yeah, and then
I don't know. That
and then when
was-
she like jumped out of the plane and she said, "Redheads, you gotta love them," and then
I think that one was
that's all the
okay.
humor is. It's just kind of like thrown in,
Just a little-
kinda,
little joke. I don't know. I thought it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think about the humor? Like out of
Yeah.
10, what do you think?
4.
Yeah. I think probably. I think I'd give it a 5, just because I thought it was a lot better than like. I don't know. I thought some of the
It was
humor
nice.
was. Every once in a while, it was good to have a little humor. So that's why I give it a 5, because some of it was a little like out of place. But then I thought because the storyline was serious, I thought having some of it in there was good to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, occasionally it was good. So, okay, what do you think about? I know we've already seen Aquaman before, but what did you think about him having a standalone? Did you think he did good as the leading character?
Yeah.
Like, do you think he held his own in a movie by himself?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
I think Jason Momoa, who plays Aquaman,
He's a great actor.
I think he did a great job. I think he plays Aquaman pretty well.
His physical form is.
Yeah.
pretty good.
I think he's perfect. I think Now, I know most of the Aquaman cartoons and comics, he does have blonde hair.
Yeah, it's not long and he doesn't have a beard.
He does have long.
He does?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes he does have long hair, and sometimes he does have a beard. Actually, there's a version where he does have a beard, mustache, and long hair, but it's blonde.
I just
Mostly
remember
blonde.
him having like short,
That's
spiky kind of
Typical.
blonde hair.
Typically, yeah, he has the short blonde hair, but there have been versions with long hair and, the beard and mustache. Kind of like what he has. It's just blonde. I don't know. I think the tattoos on him look cool, though.
Yeah.
That makes him look cool.
Reminded me of Moana.
Yeah, it kind of does. That's kind of funny. Was there any characters that you did not like? Like, did you
Oh,
just,
the redhead girl.
Oh, you didn't like Mara? Why?
Or the Green Goblin guy.
Oh, that was kind of cool, though, that he was in it. William Dafoe.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Why didn't you like him?
He was just kind of weird. I don't know. Because he was in the parts when he was a little kid and he was like training them and he was like showing them stuff. I just thought he was kind of weird because he just. I don't know.
Yeah, the way this is kind of a little different, but the way they handled the origin of Aquaman while moving along with the movie, that was kind of interesting. It was different. I don't know if it was a good different, but I don't know if it was a bad different either. I just really don't know how to feel about it.
Made me feel a little weird too about it.
It was a little strange but I did like that the movie was kind of moving on as at the same time instead of just putting all that origin at the beginning and then the new storyline. Because sometimes when you get all the origin at the beginning, it's like, oh, okay, gotta get through this in order to get to the real good stuff that we want. I mean, some people do like the origin, but for me, when I'm watching a superhero movie, I'm ready for the villain against the hero. That's what I'm ready for. The origin it's good, but I don't know. It's more of a TV show thing. I think the origin is better handled in a TV show because you can stretch it out and you can make it interesting. Where in the movie, you kind of shorten it so that you get the basis idea and then go on. So moving the plot along, I don't know, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think it was cool. The heroic scenes. Where have those been in the DC movies so far? I mean, okay.
Like when he saves.
There have been some heroic scenes, like in Man of Steel. There were heroic scenes for sure. Superman was, which is part of the reason I like that movie because there were heroic scenes in that movie. Batman v Superman. I don't know. There were like barely any heroic scenes.
Yeah, I could see how like there hasn't been any like heroic stuff anymore. It's always somebody fighting somebody.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Okay, that was a good movie, but it made sense for where she was. She did have a couple heroic scenes. There was one where she was in like a village and she protected people. So I love it when they're fighting the bad guy while protecting people. And there was a scene in this movie where there's a little like Aquaman is fighting Black Manta. He destroys the bell tower, and Aquaman jumps off and lands on the ground. The bell is falling and it's about to smash, like land on top of the little girl. But Aquaman jumps to save her. Yeah, he like hits the bell. I love that scene. I love it when our heroes are heroic. It's just
because that's what superheroes are. They save people. They don't just fight
the bad guy, which we loved that. But I love that they were able to combine the two. That was great.
Where all the movies are just all about fighting the bad guy, and there's no time for
heroics.
I never really thought about that.
But it's true, especially in the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I mean, the Marvel movies are great, but when was the last time we actually saw a hero in the Marvel universe protecting people while fighting?
All of the Avengers is just, they always say, oh, we gotta save the world. Yeah.
But they're just fighting. That's it. I mean, they don't really protect people that okay. I'm not hating on the Marvel movies, so don't take us there. We're not hating on them. We love the Marvel movies. We're just saying that it's cool to see the heroes save people while fighting, which him fighting Black Manta, while fighting him, protecting the people of Italy, that was perfect. I love that. That was great. Something I loved about, yes, Justice League wasn't the best movie, but in that movie they do have a great scene where while Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Aquaman are fighting the bad guy, there's a big explosion or something. And, like, I don't remember what it was, but this thing is, like, destroying houses and all that. And, like, there's a family, and they're in, like, a truck. And they're driving, there's civilians. There's actually civilians. Because typically, it feels like they just they take this area where there's a bad guy, and they fight the bad guy, and there's just nobody there.
Yeah.
It seems like. Like Batman v Superman. They're fighting
In like a warehouse.
Doomsday. No, when they fight Doomsday. At the end.
Yeah, it was like in a warehouse, like, water area.
They were like in between Gotham and Metropolis, which was cool. But it was like, where is everybody?
Yeah.
It seemed like there was nobody there.
It would have been cool if they were in like the city and there was like in skyscrapers.
Yes, that would have been so much better. Like, well, that's what they did with Zod in Man of Steel. They had Superman and Zod fighting from building to building. That was great.
Because you kind of felt a little scared for like the citizens and stuff.
Exactly. And I think that's an important thing to keep in the movie. And I think they did that in Aquaman. And in Justice League, they have Superman and Flash. Which, by the way, in Justice League, there is one thing that I really loved about that movie, and it's how they handled Superman at the end. When he comes back, he's heroic. It feels like I was watching it and I was like, this is Superman. Why haven't I seen this before? This felt like Superman to me. He was saving people, being heroic, and so was Flash. Even though Flash was kind of a little iffy in that movie. They were saving people, and I liked that. That was a nice touch. So in Aquaman, having Aquaman save people while fighting his arch nemesis was great. I love that. That was I liked it. Sorry, we got a little sidetracked there, but it's just great talking about these movies. Okay, so back to the movie Aquaman. Who was your favorite character? Did you have a favorite character in the movie?
Did we already ask this?
No, it was who your least favorite was.
Okay. Black Manta.
Oh.
Black Manta.
Okay.
Because I thought he was a pretty different kind of like villain vibe for me.
True.
When he was fighting at the beginning and when his dad died, he had kind of like he was just kind of like, he's like, I'm not in it for the money. I just want to, kill Aquaman. And how he, the building scene of his suit, that was one of almost like my second favorite scene. I actually really liked it.
I remember you talking about that.
But the music was kind of off.
That's another thing I gotta mention. Sometimes the music, it felt unnecessary, and it seems strange. So when you guys see the movie, come back and comment what you guys thought about the music, because that was kind of strange.
And every time Aquaman would do something, they always use the same guitar riff thing. It was like,
yes.
Dun, dun,
I read something about, before we went to see it, I read a review, and one of the complaints was that he had his theme a lot.
It was almost.
It was too much. I think it's an okay theme. It's just when you play it so much, it's not okay. Wonder Woman has a great theme too. I liked her theme in her movie. What?
I was just singing.
Yeah. But do you remember Wonder Woman's theme? It's like the.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, but I thought they handled it better. I thought they used it in the right times. Yeah. Where in this movie, I thought they just had it way too much, and they zoomed in on his face every time, and I was like, why are they doing that? It just seemed too much of the same thing over and over. So, yeah, that was a little strange. But I do gotta say, it was nice having a villain that wasn't OP.
Yeah.
Every DC movie so far has had an General Zod, super powerful. Then they had Doomsday. They started off with Lex Luthor, which was fine. He wasn't overpowered.
Yeah.
But then they gave us Doomsday, who was overpowered. And then Suicide Squad, we got Enchantress, overpowered. And then Wonder Woman, we got a freaking god. What was his name?
Oh, Ares.
Ares. Oh my gosh, freaking powerful. And then we got. I don't know his name. I can't remember. Comment what his name was from Justice League. The villain from Justice League. They mentioned him in this movie, but I do not remember what his name was. But he was overpowered.
Insane. None of them could stop him except Superman.
All these villains have been overpowered, but Black Manta and Ocean Master weren't. It actually felt good having villains that weren't just overpowered villains.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought the villains were pretty good in this movie.
Yeah.
I liked them. They actually had story to them compared to previous villains. I think the only villain we've had so far with a good story was Zod, I think. And maybe Lex Luthor. Besides those two, I don't know. Not really the best storylines for them. So it was good having some villains like that. For me, my least favorite characters, I don't know. If I had to choose any, I'd probably choose... It's hard. For me, there weren't that many characters I disliked. But I guess if I have to choose one, probably the mom. I don't know.
That you liked?
Disliked.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There was just something about her. It was strange. I don't know, but I really didn't hate that many characters, if any, really. I liked all of them. I didn't think any of them were bad. I thought they were all fine. I thought a couple scenes with Black Manta were a little... I know he was your favorite character, but... And he was cool, but I thought a couple of his scenes...
Yeah, when he was, like...
Without the suit, he was...
Yeah, without the suit, he was, like, sitting there, and then the guys come out of the water, and he was just kind of like...
I don't
too
know.
into it. And they throw him the money, he's like... I'm not in it for the money. He was just kind of acting a little too much.
Overacting.
Overacting, yeah.
I agree. I think that was a little I thought Ocean Master's acting was fine. And Aquaman, of course. I thought he did great. My favorite character, was Aquaman.
Yeah.
I don't know how it couldn't... I mean, I guess...
I just don't want to say the main character.
I know. It's just in this case. I thought he was great. I thought he was
the main part.
I just thought he was good.
If he wasn't in that movie, then it would have been...
It wouldn't have been as good.
Nope.
It would have been fine, I think.
It would have been terrible.
I don't know. I think he did a great job. But I feel like the story wasn't bad. I thought the story was fine. It's if it was someone else, it wouldn't have been as cool. But I think it would have still been okay.
Yeah.
But Jason Momoa was great. He was definitely my favorite character. So let me know who you guys thought was the favorite character when you see the movie, of course. And if you have seen it, let us know who you thought was your favorite and who you thought was your least favorite. Okay, so now we're coming to the end of the video. Now we're gonna give you our final scores. So if you're still around, this is it. Now we're going to give you our final score. What did you think overall? Everything, the whole movie. What did you think?
Probably an 8. Sticking to the 8.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought for how the DC movies have been, it was definitely a step in the right direction. I think this is where we're going to switch places. I'm actually going to give it a 9. I thought it was pretty good.
I didn't want to give it a 9, but
I was either going to give it
better.
I was either going to give it an 8.5 or a 9 because I thought it was definitely in that area. When you look at it as a whole,
kind of is, yeah.
The heroic ending was just it killed it for me.
Yeah, the ending and then the beginning and then the origin I didn't like it, so I give it an 8. The only thing keeping it together was the fighting and the visual effects.
You didn't like the ending? What do you mean by the ending? Like the very end or the fight? The very end and the fight when he broke the thing, and then his mom comes out of nowhere and he's like, "Oh, everything's fine again." It would have been cool if they would have like knocked him out and put him in chains and. True.
Something.
Okay, they could have given us more in that fight. I don't know.
It's weird how he just kind of like all of a sudden just like forgets everything when his mom comes back.
Well, I mean, he didn't know she was alive.
I know, but how is views on everything about starting a war with the thing? It just all goes away just because his mom came out.
True.
But yeah, I give it an 8.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you're right. I think now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna lower it to an 8.5 because you've convinced me. And plus I went back and I was thinking about the movie, and there were a lot of good things. but then there were some flaws. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5. So let us know in the comments what you think about what you thought about the movie out of 10, and if you haven't seen it yet, when you see it, hopefully you see it. Because definitely recommend it, right? Yeah, definitely a movie you should see. So go see it, and when you see it, come back, let us know what you guys thought, and hopefully you enjoy the movie as much as we did, because we thought it was pretty good, right? Yeah. And hopefully they continue with Shazam. And I'm sure we'll review Shazam, and when we do, you'll see what we think. So comment down below, subscribe if you're new, like if you like this video and want to see more. I'm Movie Man.
I'm Gary Winthorpe.
And we'll see you in the next video.